Missing hiker, runner, Ian O'Brien, emergency medical search. Ian has epilepsy and may not have his medication. He was last seen in the Plata Canyon, Colorado. He's a white male, 28, long blonde hair and beard, 6'4", 187 pounds. He's likely wearing black shorts, gray tank top, and maybe a gray long sleeve hiking shirt. I'm trying to get this video out as quickly as possible because I was contacted by a mutual friend who knows Ian, and he went missing on Saturday. So this is Thursday, June 29th, 2023. Means it's the 6th day he's been out there. So it's very serious. However, family, friends, loved ones have hope that he'll be found alive. And there's a need for volunteers. This is from a website that was created with permission of the family. findianobrien.com. It says, currently seeking volunteer hikers, backpackers, drivers with ATVs or high clearance vehicles to access rocky terrain. Our search area is from the Hesperus Mountain to Owens Basin to West Mancos Trail to Sharkstooth Trailhead to Box Canyon Trail to Transfer Campground. So that, in my opinion, is a huge search area. And it goes on. Important medical info. Ian has epilepsy. He may or may not have his medication. He left with it, but may be separated from his bag. If he's having seizures, he may not know his name or where he is. He may appear disoriented, combative, confused, and then he'll likely sleep for long hours after a seizure. If you are searching, mix up what you're calling, not just Ian. Due to his seizure brain, he may not respond to his name. Try this. Do you need help? Or, we're here to help. Or, hello, is anyone there? Or, Ian, do you need help? To give you a general background information, I'll read excerpts from an article in the Durango Herald, and I'll put the link in the description. Rescue workers have been searching this week for a 28-year-old man, Ian O'Brien, who failed to return from a hike Saturday evening in the Echo Basin area of the La Plata Mountains. And this is according to Sheriff Stephen Nolan. O'Brien was camping with his girlfriend near the upper end of Echo Basin along Forest Service Road 566. He went hiking about 2 p.m. Saturday to Hesperus Peak, a hike he had done in the past. Rescue workers know he made it to the peak because he took a photograph and shared it about 6:30 p.m. In other words, he shared it on social media. About 4.5 hours after he set off on the hike, he, quote, he was supposed to be back and it got dark. They started looking for him. They couldn't find him and then notified us, me and the Sheriff's Department, about 12:30 in the morning. The Sheriff activated the Montezuma County Search and Rescue Team, which included an aircraft that searched for a couple hours that night without finding any sign of O'Brien. 2 more aircraft and ground crews joined the search Sunday morning. About 30 ground crews were involved in the search Monday. By 9 a.m. Tuesday, 12 teams were assigned to the search, with more en route. A U.S. Air Force Black Hawk helicopter was also searching the area, as well as a helicopter normally used for firefighting activities. And a second helicopter team was en route from Kirkland Air Force Base. La Plata County Search and Rescue also joined the rescue effort. Sheriff Nolan expressed frustration that hikers don't better prepare themselves for an eventuality that something might go wrong in their outings. It's a quote from him. He was not really dressed for this at all. even though he is an outdoor person, had a lot of extensive hiking experience in the wilderness and whatnot. I don't know why folks can't be prepared in the outdoors. It's sad, unquote. OBrien did have a GPS unit and possibly some snacks and a hydration pack. He also reportedly suffers from epilepsy, which can lead to seizures. He possibly had his medication with him. The temperature dropped to about 38 degrees early Sunday, rose to 79 degrees Sunday afternoon. So again, those excerpts are from the Durango Herald. I'll put the link in the description. You can read the whole thing. So here's the reality, according to my own outdoor experience, that in a situation similar to that, usually the person wouldn't make it. However, there's hope because this person does have survival experience and people have survived longer. Also, I believe in miracles. God can do anything. He answers prayer. So please pray. And as I said, I was contacted by a mutual friend, and this part of what he wrote. This is a fine young man who used to ski patrol with me at Belvedere Mountain in the Catskills. His father still works there and has 45 years on our parole. They are a first responder family. Ian has a strong outdoor background, wilderness guide, ski patroller, EMT, wilderness EMT certified. I have a feeling they had a seizure and things went downhill from there. There will be lessons to be learned from this, no matter how this ends up. So what can we learn? I've decided that if I'm going to share videos like this, that at least part of the video will be for education of the general public or general viewers. And I'd like to say, know the risks. What age are you? What medical conditions do you have, or do you know that you have? And then, according to that age and those risks, do you want to hike alone? Is that even something you want to do? We're competent adults. We make our own decisions. There's risk. I go hiking out a lot alone. I believe my heart's good. I believe my blood pressure is good. So I'm not thinking all of a sudden medical event like a heart attack or a stroke, but I'm a senior citizen or bordering that, depending on how you define it. So there's risk. So when I share things like this, it's not to blame or to shame, just that, there's a lot of new people, more and more in this age of like pandemics and shutdowns. People have discovered the wilderness because they couldn't go to things in the city, maybe, a lot of them. So they got into the wilderness hobby, and that can be good. I'm just saying, know the risks. Think about your medical conditions, and if you're willing. And then, what are the risks of hiking light? So, Ian was maybe trail running. I've just talked to a friend, mutual friend, and read newspaper articles and things that the families put on the website and Facebook and such. But it seems like Ian was trail running. And that brings to my memory Emily Sotelo, who seems to have been trail running in New Hampshire, Mount Lafayette, in the winter, traveling really light. Okay, so know the risks of your area, and then is it worth it, or should you have more gear? The sheriff quoted in this case was saying it's sad that apparently he's seeing so many tragedies with people just not bringing, in his opinion, a lot of people just not bringing like warm clothes with them, or like a emergency sleep system bivy bag, or just a lightweight system like a snug pack jungle blanket, something like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a playlist in the description here. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can start to learn. I can't give you everything in one video. I'll give you what I can. So, what happens if you lose your pack? There's different ways you can be separated from your pack. In the case we're talking about today, it might have been a medical event where the person had a seizure, and then you're not thinking properly, and you just get up and leave your pack behind. Anyone, though, can be hiking a trail or off trail, set down their backpack. You know how a lot of times we sit down, take the load off. Anyone, any age, can be absent-minded. You start walking off without your pack. I mean, it's a simple, silly mistake. It happens. And then the person might not be able to find it again. Or there's cases people have a fall. They fall down like some sort of a cliff, maybe not a 90-degree cliff where they're just falling through the air, but a cliff where they're like tumbling and it's really steep, and they end up however far down that cliff or steep hill, and they could be injured by the time they get down there, and on the way their backpack just gets ripped off or gets lost, and they might not be able to get to it. There's a lot of different ways. Someone can be separated from their backpack, and then what? So there's certain gear you should have right on your person, certain critical gear. I want to have things like a compass, a map, pen and paper, pocket knife, flashlight, or a couple flashlights, extra batteries, a GPS, just simple things. What are you going to carry right on your person? That's basic survival in case you get separated from your pack, which does happen. It happens to people again and again. And one of the most critical pieces of gear, if you want to call it that, something to have with you, you definitely want to have with you, is medication. If there's some medication you need every day, you should have that on you. I like to put it in a pocket, but then I want the pill bottle or whatever it is to have some way to secure it, and I'd pin it inside my shirt pocket or the cargo pocket of my pants, in a pocket, but also secured. I don't want to lose that. So again, I thank you for tuning in. I ask you to please pray. The website is findianobrien.com. For more information, you want to volunteer. They're looking for professional search and rescue teams, but also other people. findianobrien.com. God bless you guys. I am praying to you because I know you will answer, oh God. Bend down and listen as I pray. Show me your unfailing love in wonderful ways. By your mighty power, you rescue those who seek refuge from their enemies. Psalm 17, 6 and 7, NLT.